Yara is in turmoil. Its people are revolting against their El Presidente, Antón Castillo, a dictator intent on realizing his vision of paradise, no matter the cost. As the capital's streets burn between Castillo's supporters and protesters, the leader delivers a twisted lesson to his anxious 13-year-old son.
Because our country is like this grenade, except it has two basic parts. Our people. And you must clutch them nice and tight, or we all go boom.
Before we go any further, please be sure to hit the like button, as it truly helps out the video. And if you're new to the channel, please be sure to subscribe and also hit the bell notification icon as well, so as soon as a new video goes live, you will certainly be notified. Alright, thank you so much. Let's jump right in. Like its predecessor, Far Cry 6 isn't shy about wearing its inspiration on its sleeve. The Cuban Revolution left a profound, lasting impact on the country, and its effects are influencing Ubisoft's next first-person shooter. On the surface, we have this nation stuck in the past, a living museum of vintage American cars and historical architecture. Yet, the developers also sought the methods and motivations of former guerrilla fighters, speaking with them to learn how a revolution lives and breathes. While the former helped their artists to build a complex Caribbean island, the largest playable map in the series to date, as these things always go, the latter informed their narrative design. Unlike recent entries, Far Cry 6 will have a fully voiced protagonist, Dani Rojas, a local Yaran swept up in the Libertad freedom movement. It's a sensible change. A revolution needs a voice, and a silent guerrilla will not unite a fracturing resistance. What isn't changing is Ubisoft's fondness for memorable antagonists. In the footsteps of Vaz, Pagan, and Joseph comes Antón, a man convinced he's doing what's best for his people. As the second Castillo in power, Antón has seen his father executed by revolutionaries and lived through the stagnant economy that followed. In his eyes, only the Castillos can make Yara prosper once again. What others deride as brutal methods, he only sees as strong leadership. The wild card in all of this is Diego, his 13-year-old son. Like any teenager, he's at the crossroads, coming to grips with his future and the pressure of fulfilling his parents' wishes. What's clear in the premiere trailer, and confirmed by narrative director Navid Kavari himself, is that we aren't sure which path Diego eventually chooses, of course. Will he continue the bloody legacy or help demolish it? That's where Dani comes in, and we expect that Antón's grooming will only grow urgent as he senses his demise, just like that of his father 50 years ago. Bringing the father-son duo to life are Giancarlo Esposito of Breaking Bad and The Mandalorian fame, and Anthony Gonzalez from Pixar's Coco. According to Kavari, Esposito embraced the role and came into their first meeting with notes and questions on the character, pushing for greater empathy. That highly collaborative process will, hopefully, give us Far Cry's best villain yet. However, the challenge, as always, is marrying that story with gameplay, especially when players have a large sandbox full of shiny distractions. What's immediately noticeable about Far Cry 6 is the map. Yes, it's very big. But other than bringing back tropical jungles, beaches, and small settlements, it's also introducing a city, Esperanza, Yara's capital, and the so-called Lion's Den is the first dense urban environment in the series. Ubisoft Toronto is taking the lead this time, and the team likely scored a few tips from their colleagues on the Watchdog Legion's floor. Fights this time will stretch down streets and back alleys, where tougher enemies roam, and with a verticality that they claim is game-changing. Dictators love the power and symbolism of tanks, so lobbing grenades into them from a rooftop or balcony might be a thing. Everything else, as far as we know, should be familiar to fans. In a fun nod to Far Cry New Dawn, players can wield unconventional weapons like a disc launcher, flamethrower, as well as a chemical sprayer. They rebranded the Fangs for Hire system as Amigos for Hire, with a White Panther and a wheelchair-bound Dachshund who literally kills with kindness, among its numbers. And progression comes by uniting the guerrillas scattered across the country, in what are likely zoned areas contested by Antón's forces. We'll hear more about combat and gameplay as we near Far Cry 6's launch, but so far it's shaping up to be a distinctly Ubisoft title. The biggest question currently lies with Dani, our Yaran guerrilla. Players can customize their appearance and choose a gender, but we don't know how much autonomy the character gets. We doubt they'll take away key decisions that shape the ending, so we'll likely have more cutscenes as well as more story-focused sections to portray Danny's journey. Then there's the politics. The series isn't afraid of using real-world themes and locales, though it stops short of making any scathing commentary or fumbling when they try. Yet it seems hard to stay apolitical in a game about systemic oppression and revolt. Perhaps that might change under Kavari, who's now leading the narrative after writing for 3 Far Cry games. It's hard to tell with no meaningful gameplay footage or hands-on time at the moment. The actual risk lies in creeping franchise fatigue. Outside of Esperanza, the game appears to follow a formula drafted and iterated upon since Far Cry 6. After 8 years, we're pretty much past the point of predictability. Assassin's Creed Origins shows Ubisoft can handle a systems overhaul, and with next-gen platforms now on the table, it seems ripe for a meaningful change. We won't get that with Far Cry 6, unfortunately, it seems. So we're eager to see what else they have up their sleeves. There's no official release date for now, but a recent Microsoft Store listing pins it as May 26, 2021. And of course, coming across all platforms. And there you have it.